Oh, I love it.
Is out there listening, they're used to it. They already know. They don't even need to be told. Everybody knows we deal with you because you're the host.
Every time I do that voice, it makes me want to watch through Rick and Morty again.
I know. I haven't even watched the last few. I don't think the last half of this season. It is out, right? They put out the second half.
I don't know. If they haven't, I haven't seen it either.
I think they did, and I just haven't watched it. Sharing it up, sharing it up.
New Spider-Man looks sweet, though. We'll say that.
You know what else looks sweet? One of them gold crowns I never got in Fall Guys.
I got two of them.
I'm sure you did. All right, you guys all shared up over there?
Oh yeah.
Y'all all shared up on over there?
You know, this is the first time in like 10 years that there's 3 Oklahoma teams that are in the top 25 in football.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't watch football, Hunter. Sorry.
Tulsa's ranked number 25. OU's like 17 something or 16, and then we're 14.
I'm guessing, is OSU, as if you're part of them.
Yeah, that's my jam.
Okay.
See, the difference is like I grew up in Stillwater, but my parents went to OSU.
Right, so it feels more legit.
Stillwater High School.
Okay,
and
so it's
most
more,
of the people I know,
it's
that
in
are
your
OU
blood
fans-
because they passed it to you, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, most of the people I know that are OU fans just went to Walmart. That's.
I hear you.
Well, most people don't go to OSU just to go to OSU.
I think there's a lot of OSU fans that just went to Walmart too.
Oh yeah, there is, but that's just a joke.
I did see.
I know more of them that grew up in the city though, and that went to school there because I lived around and on campus. So
yeah, I don't hear Ryan at all. Oh, he must be on the phone call. Somebody. Yeah, he's got the old serious face on. Business face.
No, he's been talking to me.
Yeah, he's doing it right now. Look at him, all business faced out. There you go, baby.
What are you talking about? Are you
not watching
on Discord?
Yeah, we're live. Oh, I guess I need to share that with you. All right, guys, we're getting ready to get started. Watching Ryan and his business face over there.
Starting at 9. We're not gonna get off here till 11 tonight.
Oh my gosh, you sound so sad.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Just a little bit.
He's so happy to be here that we're going to get off at 9, guys. And Ryan's over there making business calls. It's going to be a good night. It's going to be an excellent night. The best night.
I was just kind of wanting to, maybe play some Dead by Daylight after this, but there's no way.
Not in those queue lines, bro. I don't know if Ryan's ready or not. I'm like looking over.
Looks like he's taking care of business.
Oh, well, I just
He's going down the line, so eventually he can get me a quote. But it's probably way too late in the year now for me to even get.
No, you're not. You're just the last person. You're not going to be mad at me for calling you late. But you're on my list. I looked at it 3 times today. Like, should I call Hunter? No, I'll take care of these ones first.
I've even thought about maybe just you get me a quote on what you could get me lights at, and then I'll do it myself.
No, I don't do that.
You don't do that?
No. The man's got to make money. He's not in the friend making business. He's in the money making business. All right, we're starting the highlight video. Yeah.
It'd be hilarious if that door slammed shut and it just went up to a 10. We're like, what?
Oh, 10.
There it goes.
Oh, she got me.
the deal.
She got me.
No,
She's on me.
no, I got the deal.
Going.
We're Delirious Dads Gaming.
So are you going to be a gamer that's a dad, or are you going to be a dad that's a gamer?
Go check out the Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast, available today on your favorite podcast platforms and at the website deliriousdadsgaming.com. The Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast is a gaming podcast geared towards dads who are gaming enthusiasts. They don't take themselves so serious that they can't have fun. They include fun, joking banter that keeps the content both entertaining and relaxing. They bring gaming news.
The Halo Infinite teaser seems like it's marking the return of the banished.
Dr. Disrespect, so Twitch has permanently banned him and nobody knows why.
Game reviews,
Crackdown 3, worst reviewed game of this century.
tips and tricks, and gaming quizzes with a dad perspective in mind. If you're a gamer, but life keeps you too busy to keep up, then they have your back. Check it out today on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Twitch, YouTube, and more. That's the Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast. You can also find them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Search Delirious Dads Gaming. Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast at deliriousdadsgaming.com. Go check it out now.
Tonight's episode is brought to you by Click Gaming, a freelance esports tournament company based out of Oklahoma. If you're located in the U.S. and need esports services, this is the ultimate gaming company for you. Contact Johnny Weaver at icychiller@att.net. That's ICYCHILLER. On this episode of the Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast.
Star Wars and the Battle of Valhalla.
PlayStation, the highs and the lows.
It's all about the beers and the games, boys.
And now, the Delirious Dads Gaming Podcast.
And happy November, everybody, aka Thanksgiving if you're in the U.S., because the pioneers, the pilgrims, you know, they came
The
in.
slaughtering and the murdering, you know, everything.
Yeah,
Countless Native Americans.
I prefer the first grade version, which is they broke bread, the Indians showed us how to shuck corn, you know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and all
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Hey, all I prefer is the reality we live in now, and it's a good life we have.
This is
So
true.
I'm thankful.
You know why it's such a good life? Because it's episode 92.
Oh,
Yeah, the last episode of November for us guys. Yeah, no podcast next week. So if you're looking for us on Thanksgiving, we're not gonna be there because we're gonna be stuffing our faces.
Daddy's gonna be eating a turkey.
Mm-hmm. A little turkey.
that sound
coma.
like it hit you guys with a day. No D. Daddy's gonna be eating turkey.
Nice, I'll be a turkey.
He can't even talk right. He's so full. I love that. Hey, in honor of tonight's podcast, I'm drinking some eggnog. Already broke out the old Brahms eggnog. You know.
In honor of the podcast, I'm drinking Diet 7-Up.
Is it regular eggnog or is it spiked eggnog or what are we
Nah,
working
just
with?
regular boring eggnog. No whiskey
Oh, okay.
tonight.
Okay.
I'll be over here
I saw
sweating
some-
bullets.
I saw some eggnog at the liquor store that was like pre-mixed. Like it was just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
Evan
just-
I guess,
Williams makes
old
some
school
good eggnog.
eggnog.
Yeah. Well, guys, but we're not talking about alcoholic beverages mixed in with your eggnog. Of course, we are talking about alcoholic beverages later on. We got gaming news. Me and Ryan are bringing that tonight, spicing it up with a little personality. And Hunter is looking like good old cousin Eddie over there. He's going to be bringing us some PlayStation 5 news. Basically, let us know.
Cousin Eddie.
Because the way you have your hair combed over, it's just totally cousin Eddie. Yeah, go back and watch Christmas Vacation early. You know,
I've already
COVID.
watched it 5 times.
Yeah, COVID hit this year. There's no rules. There's no rules for 2020.
Dude, I'm so ready for 2021. It's got to be a turning point after how crazy this year was.
Mm-hmm. I said
There's no way it could be any worse.
Hey, I said something to the effect of that. One of my coworkers said, "What makes you think 2021 is going to get better?" I said, "Well, it just kind of has to." Okay.
Well, it could be a complete collapse and martial law and, you know, president not conceding and all kinds of crazy stuff could happen.
That's true. But Alec Trebek died, you know? So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was last week. Lost his battle with cancer. So
I saw that. That was rough.
I'm sad about that.
What is we miss you?
Mm-hmm. I think they need to bring Will Ferrell onto
9,000.
SNL and do like a tribute skit to him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, we keep veering off, guys. I know it's not gaming related, but we don't care. Okay?
Jeopardy's a
Hilarious,
game.
dads. Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
Good recovery.
Yep. So, are any of you guys playing anything right now? Just throwing it out there.
I'm playing the back of my eyelids for 4 hours a night.
There you
Playing
go.
myself because I ain't making money like Ryan is right now.
Oh, there you go. No, me and Hunter did hop on that Dead by Daylight life, and
Did you?
it was fun. But
Yeah, me, Justin, you, and Rowdy. It was a fun night.
it was.
So here's the thing: when stuff slows down for you, Ryan, we need to get on, and then we need to run 5s because then we'll have a killer and 4 people.
Yeah, because right now
Fun.
the Q lines in that game is awful. Apparently,
Really?
apparently the killer to survivor ratio is off balance.
So
right now.
bad.
Yeah. So you're waiting in line a long time.
So everybody wants to be a survivor and not a killer.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
they might need to kind of go towards it. Like if that continues to be an issue, they might need to go towards the randomization thing.
Well, it's never been an issue
Yeah.
before, so that's surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they could, like I was telling you, do like some kind of reward system for being a killer.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah,
give people
true.
an extra
You get
incentive
more
to do
blood
it.
points and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what's going on Dead by Daylight. I stepped into the pre-patch event of World of Warcraft.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised you're even here tonight.
Yeah, well, I've already got most of my gear, so I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's all catch-up mechanics, so we're good. But yeah, they got me stoked for that. Really excited. So the only person not gaming is Ryan. He's gaming gaming that money.
That's right.
Trying. We'll come out of this. We'll come out of the season hopefully, out of debt. We're not going to have any cash in our pockets, but if we can get out of the debt that we're in right now and be on top of this house deal, it'll be good.
Hey, what people don't understand is, and when you own a company, debt is just part of the deal, man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like that's And anyways, I'm married to a woman whose father owns a very big company, and that's just part of the gig.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I was talking to a guy just the other day that I did Christmas lights for, and I was explaining to him our expansion, and he was giving me some warnings about growing too fast and things like that. And he was telling me, but one thing you're not going to avoid, Ryan, is that trying to balance your books with what's coming in. He said that's not going to go away. And I said, yeah, I don't want to hear that.
It probably only becomes a bigger problem because it's more.
Yeah,
right?
he told me, he said if we don't do 500,000 in sales a month, we're upside down next month. I said, what?
Yeah, that's crazy.
He said, just the way it is. And I said, I don't like it.
Hope you end up hiring a good accountant later on down the road and
Jeez.
just keep it all going. But what we are going to keep going, guys, is gaming news. We're bringing it hard, fast, with a little bit of sauce for your turkey.
Wow. Jeez,
that statement was all over the board.
It's a graphic novel.
I'm in a mood. You'll have to forgive me.
I'm going to need some extra gravy to wash that out of my eye sockets.
and ear holes.
Yes.
I'm just gonna drink this here eggnog. Call it good.
Are you sure that ain't Spike, bro?
Uh-huh.
Totally positive. Leaks for Geeks. You heard it right, guys. It's time for Leaks for Geeks, news for dudes. You know,
The stories from the stories.
yeah.
I thought I had something better. Just to a horrible wreck. I'm sorry.
Well,
That's what Clinton did, but just a while ago.
no, never. That's just when you do a late night recording. Those things just happen. That's what
true.
that is. Oh, so in the gaming world, Ryan, it's really picked up. You got Xbox Series X out there, PlayStation 5 out there. People throwing items on sale for thousands of dollars. You know, for a PS5, $1,600 here, whatever.
Is that what they're doing? Are they doing the old
scalping,
beat?
baby.
Because they're sold out? Oh,
Yeah.
man.
I'm pissed. Should have jumped on that train.
No,
I've always talked about it.
Just wait a couple months.
I saw one
No,
post.
no, that's not what he means. He means you should have bought a few. That's what people do.
Yeah.
That's like back when the Kinect came out. I told my mother-in-law, I was like, hey, when that Kinect comes out, if you have the extra money, I'm telling you, buy about 20, 30 of them. Forget the stocks that you're playing right now because they're going to sell out of Kinect, and the Kinects are going to sell for at least double. You just double all your money.
Yep.
Sure enough, they did. Some of them were going for like 4 times as much.
Oh, yeah.
And
Crazy.
it's like it happens all the time on this stuff.
I saw someone, I don't know how true it was, but they posted the picture of like $32,000 PlayStation 5. I'm pretty sure it was fake.
I mean, someone might have posted it, but it doesn't mean it's
No, yeah,
sold
it's not
for
going to
it.
sell.
Yeah.
I'd love to meet the idiot that buys that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it happens, right? Tickle Me Elbow, it's like 5-10 grand commonly, and they said one of them sold for like close to $1 million for a Tickle Me Elbow.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Crazy. Well, that's what's going on right now. If you're having trouble finding a system, you can go and buy it for triple the price right now over on eBay. So try that out.
But if you're going to spend that, why wouldn't you just get a super good gaming computer and forget about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make
To
any
hold you
sense.
over till later.
You can wait.
Yep.
Mhm.
Or if you want another option and you like beer, well, this option right here might be right up your alley. Okay. So good old Bud Light, the beer brand produced by Anheuser-Busch, has created a video game console. It's called the BL6, and yes, it will keep 2 of your beers cold.
No.
Yeah, has a 16 gigabytes of memory and 6 games, including Tekken 7 and Soul Calibur 6. It has a built-in Asus projector, and it has the freeform factor of a 6-pack of beer.
Nice.
The writer of The Verge that did this article, he says, the problem with these devices is that they're impossible to get. He says, you can't even find a place to cop a controller, and Bud Light's BL6 is currently going for more than $1,000 at auction. I'm assuming he means eBay auction. Anywho, if you're into Bud Light and you love collector's items, this bad boy is one to grab, I'd say.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So just for giggles, because I know none of us are strapped for time tonight, I am gonna post the link. We're gonna watch this. Just a quick little review, as they say.
Review or reveal?
Reveal.
Are you throwing it in the thread, or are you throwing it in the?
I'm gonna throw it. I'm gonna throw it in your Discord. And we're gonna throw it up on the screen.
Throw it.
Because why not? Yeah. All right. Let's see. I wasn't ready for that one yet. You'll have to excuse me, guys. The eggnog's making my stomach rumble.
Oh gosh.
Yep. Could be.
Tell us when to play.
Tell you when to play.
Yeah.
He already did, didn't he? He already went for it.
I just got it full screened up. I'm ready.
Okay.
He's reggy.
He reggy. He regular. All right.
Introducing the BL6, the coolest console ever.
That's the way to do it right there, kids. All right, here we go. You guys ready? 3, 2, 1, go. There you go, boys.
What in the world?
Nice.
What I really love is they didn't show it working at all.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's too much.
It's like
Yep.
where's my projector at? You know what I'm saying?
Like
Yep.
you said, I feel like this is something you buy to put on your shelf.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. You're not really going to use it that much, if at all. You know, but good poolside toy. You know, throw some sheets up by the pool.
Yeah, it's got to work though. I mean, you got to go. Hey guys, check this thing out. You got to be able to turn it on. And it works. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We don't have
If
proof
it's
of that
like
yet.
if it's like the display, you still can't see it all even in the dark room because it's so dim and cheap. I'd be like disappointed. It's not even really a collector's item at that point.
No, I feel like people collect it even if it doesn't work. Bud Light
True.
made this in 2020, and it didn't ever work. But this is one of 1,000 that were made.
True, that's true.
Yeah,
You're right.
He's got good points. All good points. Well, Ryan, that was my cool story of the night.
Oh yeah.
What do
It's
you
all good points.
got? Yeah. Full of puns tonight.
Well, in direct connection to the Bud Light story,
Oh, here we
Mine-
go. Tequila! Or is it Corona?
it's neither.
Little Corona
It's
gaming?
It's Baby Yoda in Minecraft.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's actually not connected at all. I just wanted to say that. So it's kind of good. Yeah.
I was waiting. I was like, how's he gonna tie that in?
Well played.
Uh-huh.
Well played.
Yeah, you guys both. Yeah, you bit hook, line, and sinker. Baby Yoda joins Minecraft in the new Star Wars crossover.
Okay.
It says, Herm, DLC focused on the original Star Wars trilogy pushed my buttons. It does. Today, Minecraft announced that new Star Wars crossover is available now on the marketplace. That adds content from A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, and The Return of the Jedi, as well as The Mandalorian. Yes, there is Voxel Baby Yoda.
Voxel baby.
And we have not. I have not watched the new Mandalorian because I'm too busy. But I loved the first one, so I'm sure it's going to be good. I don't know if you guys got to watch it.
No, I
Did
started
you?
the first one, but I haven't. I need to get back in it.
Oh yeah, they were good. The whole series.
I hear season 2 is still loved though. It's not like it's like getting anything bad. So
No, people are loving it. Yeah. It says the pack consists of a map, 12 planets. Let's see. 12 planet dioramas, a skin pack, and official soundtrack. The locations chosen are the classic, the Death Star, Moss. Oh, someone's going to kill me for this. Moss Eisley Cantina. Shut it. The Ewok Village.
Famous cantina. The bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, but I don't know how to pronounce that. I think it's Eisley.
Is that where Han Solo shot first?
I think so.
That's what she
Hoth.
said.
Hoth complete with at Walkers, Jabba Palace,
Okay.
and much more. So, I mean, this has got it all, man. I mean, what more could you want other than pixeled, squared Jabba the Hutt? You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda is looking sweet, and so is the Mandalorian. He's in there too.
Okay.
So, if you're into Mandalorian, you're into Star Wars, and you're into Minecraft, which, you know, all three of those are automatically connected, then you got to go check it out.
Yeah, it sounds fun. It's kind
I
of
need to
fun
figure
listening
out-
to try to say the names too. That's really.
I need to
Yeah.
figure out which
Thank you.
Minecraft I need to be able to like download those new maps and stuff.
I don't
Because the
know.
one I got's not the right one. Because I was listening to Clinton. He
Yeah,
told me
Java's the one if you want to do all the upgrades and mods and stuff.
Yeah,
I think I got Windows 10.
we bought the one on Windows 10.
Yeah, you got the Microsoft one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I didn't know when I bought it that there was even a difference. So
Now they do have stuff on there. It's more like a lot of stuff that and it costs a lot of it costs rather than being free. Yeah.
So I seen that they made the whole like Lord of the Rings map on Skyrim, or not Skyrim, on Minecraft too, and I'm like super pumped about all that stuff. Like I want to.
Oh yeah, I think
like Harry Potter and
yeah, I saw one where they did the whole castle, Harry Potter, and everything.
Yeah, they got a Death Star, on there, all sorts of stuff. Yeah,
such a cool game.
It is. Yeah, it is a cool game. Speaking of games, game prices are going up. Ryan Hunter, game prices
$65,
$70 in some cases.
By
on PlayStation
$10.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
We're going over 70 on some.
Yeah. AAA titles. Yep. So players aren't exactly thrilled about it, but Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan loves the Bucks, and so he's defending their stance. So I'll read this article off to you guys, see what you think. It says launch titles Demon's Souls and Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales Ultimate Edition both have $70 price tags. A Sony spokesperson recently pointed out that the $70 price tag was currently reserved for the company's biggest first-party PS5 titles in a strategy reflective of the growing development resource needed for these ambitious games. Family titles such as Sackboy: Big Adventure still retail at $60. The Telegraph asked the boss Ryan if he considered $70 a fair price for a video game, and he says, quote, yes, I do. If you measure the hours of the entertainment provided by a video game, such as Demon's Souls, compared to any other form of entertainment, I think that it's a very straightforward comparison to draw. A Bloomberg article recently claimed Sony considered pricing PS5 games even higher than $70, but Ryan labeled this categorically false. He also refused to confirm if future games from top PlayStation studios like Naughty Dog would carry the $70 price tag. He says, I'm not making any predictions about anything that might or might not happen in the future. Other publishers have also decided to increase the software prices for some of their next-gen games, including Take-Two's NBA 2K1 and Activision's Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. He also refused to comment whether God of War Ragnarok will be released for PS4, and claimed the company hasn't received feedback suggesting consumers are concerned about the amount of storage space offered by the PS5, which was, I think, something Ryan had mentioned, or maybe Hunter did last week.
Well, we talked about the Xbox having only 1 terabyte, and then you having to pay for that. If you want to keep it just as fast and snappy, you got to buy that special adapter. Basically, that was that you could buy more terabytes in, but
and it has to be that brand too.
Yeah, you didn't have to get that brand, but if you wanted to keep the speeds the same, you did. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, here's okay. So I'm go ahead, Hunter. Say what you were going to say. You had a thought.
No, I'm going back to the game pricing. I agree in some sense to that, but there's got to be a rating system on that. I believe. I think it needs to be price needs to be developed by gameplay hours. Mm-hmm. Needs to be developed by popularity of the game and quality of gameplay. I don't think that for sure Demon's Souls, I feel like you can price that at $70 if you wanted to, because it is a long game. Mm-hmm. It's a very long game. I feel like it's a good quality game. There's no other game out there like it. Spider-Man Miles Morales, even though it's a really good game, it's a short game. I don't think you should pay $70 for that game. It's very short compared to the last game. It's a showcase of what PS5 is going to do, or a little taste of what they can do with the ray tracing and different things like that. But in the same sense, I would say if I was Sony, hey, we're going to do $45, $50 for this game because it's, so many hours of gameplay.
Yeah.
So I think that there's got to be something that develops a price of a game, not just this is the new standard. It's $70 for every new game that comes out.
Yeah,
because I bought some trash games for $60.
Well, I was going to bring the point of like you have NBA 2K21. Now, guys, I know I don't play a ton of sports games, but NBA 2K is the same issue I've had with pro wrestling games, the same issue I've had with other football games, and even I've had issues with the Call of Duty franchise, which is not enough changes from game to game.
Exactly.
So with
you're basically buying a new roster.
Right. So with Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, it still plays like Modern Warfare. It's not like me and Ryan were talking about this earlier before you got on, Hunter. It's not like with Cold War they can change the game massively because it has to work the same way that Modern Warfare does, so you can play Warzone. So you're telling me you're got this game that you already based off an existing engine you have, and you're upgrading my graphics, but the gameplay's not miraculously different, right? And you're telling me it's a $70 game now, and then I have issues with microtransactions. Okay,
yeah,
well
exactly.
if I'm paying you $70, then I better be getting like a year worth of battle pass or something.
Stuff. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm coming from a completely different angle on this.
Okay,
and I'm the
go
cheap.
for it.
I'm the cheap.
Go
I'm the
for
cheap
it.
bastard. So I'm coming from anything else in life has variance. Okay, and so if you go buy a car. If you're going to go buy a Toyota or buy a Ford, the price is going to be different. If you're going to buy a Camry or buy a Corolla from Toyota, the price is going to be different. We've kind of fallen into this groove where games cost this much. Well, games aren't movies. You know what I mean? Movies are kind of, hey, you get 2 hours of a movie and that's what it is. That's not how games are. Some games give you so much more depth, so much more entertainment. And so to have a set price, hey, games should be $60. I don't think that's right. I think I agree. There's some games that should be cheaper. There's some games that should be $40 right off the bat. And we're seeing that more on computer games. You see games that kind of drop faster and their prices reflect their sales more than back in the day. New games were just $60 forever. That's just what it was.
Yeah.
Unless you wanted to buy it used. Now you can get a game for $30. That's a decent game. It's a new game on the PC, $30. It's been out for 2 weeks. It's not doing well. Price drops to 40 from 60. You know, we're seeing that. But I do think that there's games that are worth. I mean, like personally, Warzone's free, right? Would I have bought Warzone if it was $60? No, but I already bought Call of Duty Modern Warfare, right?
Yeah.
But if I knew what Warzone had in store for me, in the sense of how much I was going to enjoy it and how much gameplay I was going to get out of it, I'd pay $80 for it, no problem.
Yeah.
And there's other games like that we've gotten into deeply and played a lot of that I would definitely pay more than the 60 for. And not care. The problem is it's knowing that it's going to be that level of game before you get it is the problem with games, right?
But what about plus
So I
the
agree with you
extras?
then.
Plus the
You're not
extras.
coming from a different lane with me. I agree 100% with you. I would pay more for some games, but I don't like that the standard is starting at $70 for every new game.
With no proven, no proven.
With no proof of how good it is.
Yeah, no
Okay,
improvement.
So and we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but there's games like that have been hyped up. I won't go into any names for these new generation consoles, right? And okay, they're top dollar. Well, then we're going to get these guys buying them and be like, I don't know if they'll start feeling bad about themselves for spending $70 for what they're playing. And that's my thing. Okay, so let's rate them. Just a rating system or go by the hours or something. And I'm not talking about a drastic drop in price. I'm saying 60 compared to 70 or 50 compared to 70, you know?
Right. Now, how could somebody determine that? Because most manufacturers, like let's say for cars, for example, they know because of past sales, right?
Yes.
So if you come out with a new game, that's different. It's not like cars to where Toyota's going to come out with a new car, and they may price the Yaris at a certain price point.
Yeah.
And then the Yaris just does so bad because it was really just too cheap of a car for Toyota to have made. And then a few years later, they cycle out of production. But when you have a game, how do you determine what that game's worth? The only thing I think they can do is say, hey, well, we've produced other games like this, and they've been worth this, which means game companies got to be honest with themselves and go, hey, look, we're making a $40 game. That's just what it is. So let's market it as a $40 game.
And they're not going to be.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right. That's the problem. I think as soon as we start seeing some go up to 70 or 75, that'll become the new standard. And I agree that it shouldn't be. But I also think that even a game like, for example, nowadays, most people don't. I don't know. I don't buy Blu-rays and stuff like that anymore. I love great quality videos and movies, but I'm a guy who watches a movie once, and so I can just download it and pay to stream it once if that's what I want to do, if it's a movie theater kind of movie or something. Yeah. But people do buy Blu-rays. And Blu-rays, I think, are $40 to $50.
Yeah.
For like a 4K Blu-ray. We're talking about a 2-hour movie, $40 or $50. Or any game is 6 to 8 hours, right? I mean, so then I would say,
I feel like movies they drop pretty fast though. Like when they're released on Blu-ray, right after the movie theater or whatever, then yeah, they have a higher price tag. But I feel like they drop to 20 pretty fast, and that's like true. The bottom rate for a new movie at Target and stuff like that I'll see is $20.
That's
and
true.
I'm okay with paying that.
And so I think maybe that's what should happen with games too. I think they can start wherever they want, but pretty quickly the price should be adjusted to the market.
To the market, exactly.
But I don't think that's going to happen.
The thing I think that you could soft rate on is just, again, like if a game is 6 to 7 to 10 hours long, I don't think you should pay $70 for that game.
No,
but even if it is a great game, but then you're talking about you got games out there like Demon's Souls or Red Dead that are hours and hours and hours and hours of gameplay. Then these people have, and it's not that they've worked any less on the shorter hour game, but it's what the consumer's getting. At $70 for a game I'm going to beat overnight, it just doesn't flow well with me.
And I guarantee
should a
you
game
this.
that has tons of gameplay like Red Dead 2 or let's say there's a new Grand Theft Auto that comes out, right? We've been waiting on it forever. So is a game like that who we know it's going to have tons of gameplay and we're going to be hooked on it for years to come. Is it worth $100?
I don't know. That's hard for me to say.
You could do a subscription.
I would.
What?
I would pay.
You could do a monthly subscription.
Yeah.
$5, $10.
I'd rather pay $100 once than have to pay for a monthly subscription.
If I'm saying how much I've played Grand Theft Auto in the last 5 years, it's definitely worth $100.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So that's that, and I agree with you. So I think that those games, yes, but you can't. That's the thing. It's so hard to predetermine that. But the only thing you could predetermine on is IGN and all these people who rate the game before it comes out. They've had a preview into it,
and usually those reviews are a little bit increased because of
exactly. You have to go into how much do I trust this source that I follow.
So maybe Clint's right. Maybe it should be subscription on those games that are made to play like longevity. They're going to be around a while. You're going to keep playing it. Maybe those ones should be subscription, but not a high subscription. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it can't be like, wow, people can't afford $15 for every game.
No, heck no. But I mean, I guess if you did 5, what's that going to be? You're going to be at.
But you can cancel any time. It's not like you have to, right?
5 months.
If you know, okay, in January I'm done with Christmas season and I want to play that game. Okay, it's worth paying the $5 that month to get all the updates without being overran with microtransactions, any of that kind of stuff. It's just, hey, here's the game, play it with all the updates.
That's a really cool game. That's a cool idea. What you're talking about, Ryan, is you have the set price. Well, I could test it first for the $5 a month, and if I wanted, I could buy it.
Yeah, that'd be a good.
But the only thing is, then you got speedrunners and people who are going to play through that game in 5 months, and then they get to play it for $25.
Well, yeah, those games.
Your online would have to be what is your bread and butter on that?
Yeah, those are the games that I'm talking about. The ones that are going to be having a continued gameplay for a long time.
It's going to develop.
But see, my point is this: if you pay $70, and I'm going to pick on Call of Duty, and I'm going to pick on 2K21 again. If you play $70 to get Call of Duty Cold War, Black Ops Cold War, it's still gonna, for your multiplayer, which I feel like a lot of people buy. I know not everybody does, but a lot of people buy that game to play multiplayer. The multiplayer system is still behind the gate of Battle Pass, which you have to pay for, and all that stuff, all those little packs that you have to buy. All the cosmetic stuff, which I know you're not into it, Ryan, so you probably don't really think about it much.
Right, I don't, never.
But I'm saying all that stuff's blocked after I already paid for your $70 game. Same thing with 2K21, NBA.
Yeah.
Those 2K games are notorious for having extra stuff locked. Gameplay modes and things like that locked behind.
Even
spend another
points.
Spend another $25 and get this.
Here's the thing. I can even give a little more credit to Call of Duty than I can Madden and
because at least it's just cosmetics.
Because in 2K, you're buying a roster, like I said. That's basically it. And now they allow you in 2K to download made rosters offline at any point that you want. So you don't even have to buy it. Like I can go in there right now to my 20. I have 2020 right now in there, I think. Or even if I wanted to go to my 2019 that I still have downloaded on there, I can update the newest roster in the NBA. And so it's like, why? You're buying a new cosmetic to the game, and then you're buying a new roster. And then, like Clinton said, in 2K, you even have to upgrade your player if you're doing a My Player. And if you don't want it to be slow as all get out, you have to spend money on them.
Yeah, it's horrible.
After you already bought the game. And so, but I come from the place of like, well, wow, you know, you've always given me a hard time because it's like, oh, you're buying the game plus you're paying the subscription. Well, their new expansion is $40. It's not $70. I'd be way more pissed if they said, hey, buy our $70 expansion, now pay for our subscription, or, you know, whatever.
Right.
And I mean, I know there's things as gamers that we put up with, and in our minds we're like, that's fine, I'll pay that. So I get that. But I'm saying with gaming, the trend has always been they follow the trend upward. So they're not. It's not like someone's going to be like, you know what, our game isn't $70 worth. I think we should just go ahead and tell them let's sell it for $50.
Yes.
They're not going to do that.
They're going to say, oh, they're selling their game for $70. Let's sell ours for $70.
Yeah, and companies like EA and companies like Activision, Blizzard, and some of these bigger companies, they're going to love if they can remake a game, especially these yearly made games. Those are usually the biggest culprits.
Oh, dude, and they're just bringing in bread.
Just recycle that sucker. Yeah, you know, it doesn't cost you $70 to a game to make something that's almost identical to the game you made last year, just with some tweaks and improvements here and there.
That's like Ark Survival released that new beta for a new game they were working on, and somebody figured out that they had taken the new new aspects to the game and overlaid it on Ark Survival, the game, basically. Like they uncovered in a menu that it was still an old Ark Survival menu in there.
Really?
They were like, wait a second, I paid money for this new game and you gave me Ark Survival but with a facelift.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm a little salty a little bit just because, you know, I'm cheap, I guess. But I
makes sense.
It's more so that I don't think that they're struggling. You can't tell me that these people aren't raking in the money, because it's not the people that are going to benefit from the $70 is the big AAA companies. It's not like Mr. Independent over here that made his $40 game is gonna benefit for the $70.
And I'd rather pay him if he's making a good, like Phasmophobia and those guys who are trying to work up to the top. I'd rather pay them that money. Yeah. But that's just me.
I'm also one of those people that appreciates the Giants, because if the Giants didn't exist, the industry wouldn't be what it is.
Yeah.
So
no, that's true.
You wouldn't have your consistency for sure.
It wouldn't have the money it's got. It wouldn't have the new game creators that it has. None of that stuff. I think we're onto something though. But in all reality, I think that we are seeing that in the computer gaming, because I've noticed that. Like, dang, that game's free. Like, we get free games fairly often. I go, oh, man, that game's only $20 right now.
Yeah.
And used to, that game was just forever $60, unless you just walked into GameStop and you bought the used disc. You know what I mean? And so I do like that there has been some adjustments in that sense. And I'm sure they actually make more money doing that, because nobody's buying that game anymore. So they lower it and they make an extra 460 sales or whatever it is at that low price, which would have been 0 sales had they not lowered the price. Exactly. And now they've got some new user base and all that. Yeah.
Well, Friday the 13th still for sale for $20.
I think the pricing is so much more fair on PC.
It is. I agree.
So much better.
The next story on my list is Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which I haven't played any of the Assassin's Creed because that whole thing happened when I wasn't gaming. But this game looks really good to me. And right now, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is Ubisoft's biggest PC game launch ever. So it is definitely doing well. It says that they already knew that Assassin's Creed Valhalla doubled Odyssey's day one player count, which is huge because Odyssey was a big one for them.
Right.
But Ubisoft we went over this 100 times now. It's a Ubisoft or Ubisoft?
It's Ubisoft,
right? Yeah, okay.
Ubisoft.
But Ubisoft has also confirmed that Valhalla is also its most successful PC launch ever. In a press release, Ubisoft explained that Valhalla has sold more copies than any other Assassin's Creed during the same period of time, which isn't all that surprising considering it's one of the few games available on next-gen systems like PlayStation 5. A lot of people were obviously going to buy it because lack of options. Right. I get that, but their numbers on PC reflect that the game is good, not just because it's the only one available.
Yes, it has been rated the best Assassin's Creed to be released.
That's good.
And I love the Viking stuff. Like I love the show Viking.
Yeah, that's definitely a must play for me. I'm gonna pick it up. I love Assassin's Creed. Like I told you guys before, I think it gets a little repetitive. But I mean, I gotta try. I've tried one and for every gen at least.
Yeah,
and so I'm definitely checking it out.
The guy who works for me, who's helping manage right now, he's I guess he calls himself pagan, but in reality, he believes in Norse mythology. So he's like Viking is his religion. You know what I mean? Like the way the Vikings believed. He believes in Thor and all that stuff.
Okay.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, not calling him crazy. Sorry.
You don't meet somebody that believes that.
So that's his religion, really.
Oh, yeah. Like he believes, when crows fly over, that Odin's watching him. And yeah, so it's interesting.
That's pretty, I mean, like, because, and they believe that you reach Valhalla dying a warrior's death. So how is he going to, be in the army or something?
Not necessarily. He's gone over a lot of that stuff. A lot of the stuff that we think they believe is not what they believe.
Really?
That's just kind of like
it's just been portrayed that way in video games and movies.
Mythicized by video games and movies.
So was that just like the military viewpoint on it? Probably.
Yeah, it was like the warrior Viking was you reach Valhalla by a warrior's death.
Yeah, and really, I think you reach Valhalla by dying with a warrior, like a warrior's heart, meaning the man that you are is the right kind of man. You know what I mean? You represent what a man is supposed to be.
So you're able to go out on your shield.
Yeah. But how you die, I don't think matters, if that makes sense.
So
but
no one has to behead me for me to make it to Valhalla.
No, but I think he was telling me that if you're a sissy or you don't handle life properly as a man, you do go almost to it's like a purgatory where you go through some really, really rough stuff basically to
get back to Valhalla.
To get back to Valhalla. Yeah.
I know exactly how it works. I play God of War.
Okay.
There's your religion lesson right there. God of War.
It says what's interesting though is that Ubisoft says part of the success was driven by all-time record sales through the Ubisoft store. So that is different for them, which is only found on its Steam-like platform, of course, on the PC. We don't use the Ubisoft store very much. No. So maybe they had some promotions or sales when that came out on there. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
Or maybe it's not available on Steam or anywhere else. So you have to get it through the Ubisoft store, which helped promote their store on the PC, which is probably pretty likely. I was already excited about this game. It said still Valhalla's big success. Isn't that surprising? To me, I reviewed it at launch and quickly fell in love with it. It's Viking fantasy and surprisingly intimate story. It's easily the best Assassin's Creed in the entire series and a big improvement over the already great Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Yeah, and I've heard a lot of good things about Odyssey, so that's got me definitely. This is right down my alley. I think it'd be a fun one.
I'm looking for Valhalla on Steam and not seeing it, so maybe you're right.
That's what they're doing. Yeah.
Maybe it's exclusively on there first, and they'll release it later on here, probably. Okay, makes sense. They've been really pushing that. Didn't they have a partner deal going with? Was it Xbox or was it Stadia? Or didn't they had some kind of deal going with somebody at one point?
I'm not sure. I know they're on PlayStation 5. I don't think they're exclusive.
They're not exclusive, but they did partner. I'm pretty positive they partnered with Xbox for a couple of their series.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you got next, Mr. Clint?
Oh, sorry, I was reading The Almighty Hero. He was sending us a message over on Twitch. He said he randomly stumbled on the stream, and he said, I'm not even a dad, but very much enjoying the stream. Well, thank you. Thank you, Almighty Hero.
We really appreciate it.
The Almighty.
The Almighty Valhalla.
You are a warrior. Go with peace.
All right, so the next bit of news I have is related to Bethesda and their relationship with Microsoft. Big Daddy Microsoft here. It says here that Xbox head Phil Spencer has been cautious when talking about Microsoft's recent Bethesda acquisition. A new statement from the company's CFO, Tim Stewart, has given Xbox and PC gamers the news they've been waiting to hear. It says here that Stewart says games are going to be, quote, either first or better or best on Xbox Series X and PC. Stewart made the remark during the Jefferies Interactive Entertainment Virtual Conference on November 12th, but prefaced it by saying that Microsoft has no intention of pulling all Bethesda content out of Sony or Nintendo. In quotes, it says, I'm not announcing pulling content from the platforms one way or the other, but I suspect you'll continue to see us shift towards a first or better or best approach on our platforms. So pretty much just going to
you'll
throw it
either
out
get
there
it
like,
first or you'll get some kind of benefits
yeah.
from playing it on that platform. I get what you're saying.
So they're definitely going to be leaning towards, hey, this is our baby, we own it now.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go, Microsoft, Xbox people. So kind of sucks if you got a PlayStation in that sense. Hopefully, it won't be.
I mean, they're not going to dumb the game down like the way it plays. I'm sure that's too. You know what I mean? That would be too much. I think people would be upset about that. So they're probably going to have exclusives, like special things that you get if you're part of the Xbox or I guess PC too, right? I mean, because the Xbox Game Pass would be PC. So.
Yeah. So got that going on. Was there anything else that you had, Ryan?
Yeah, I had. We were talking about last time Cyberpunk 2077. And not having any gameplay, being disappointed, wondering if they're punking us, wondering if it's going to be what they act like it's going to be. We debated kind of, hey, is this thing, going to be, like, is it trying to be an open world game? Is it more linear? Is it trying to be more like Grand Theft Auto, but with a whole different vibe of graphics and scenery? Or what are we working at? Because they've kind of told us about the map, and they've bragged about the map, and they've shown us plenty of cinematics, which I can punch cinematics right in the mouth. We got tired of those back with PlayStation 1, right? I mean, you see some cinematics that were amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And so we've been a little over cinematic on this game. Mm-hmm. So actually just right after we had that last episode, this video released. I don't know if Clint can just share it directly from...
Oh, yeah, I'll throw it up.
Dylan. Yeah. It's a long video, so we might start it and then skip through to certain minutes on there, whatever you want to do, Clint.
Yeah.
And check out some of the stuff. We can give our opinion on it. But it's a strictly gameplay video. It's a 10-minute video.
Okay. I'm going to turn off some of the sound, though, because that lady's talking in the background.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think
she started already.
I think she stopped here in a minute. He's playing it on the live deal.
Yeah, because it's so big, it'd be a lot of cuts.
Mean that you'll still have plenty to discover when you play it for yourself on December 10th. The gameplay
so right off the bat, for me, the graphics strike me as good, but definitely not as good as some new next generation games. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Cars look good and stuff like that, but all the details in the background are a little plain.
Yeah.
I actually love the color scheme. I don't think it's got a realism to it, but almost a comic realism.
Yeah, with the cyberpunk vibe. Yeah, I love the style. I love the style they went with it.
Yeah, the style looks good.
Some boobies hanging out for us right off the bat, so we know what kind of game it's going to be.
If you consider those boobies, come on, man.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm just saying. If we're being honest with the graphics.
Wow.
Well, we got a curse word in the background there. I mean, so I'm just saying right off the bat, we know this is a serious game.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's more on that Grand Theft Auto vibe. F everything. We're going to go full adult.
But like right here, I want to see the guy walk out of the building. Why did you cut?
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Why doesn't he walk out the door? Are you going to hit me with the Skyrim load screen? You know, walk out the door and load screen and another load screen. You know.
I hope not. Not supposed to be. This next generation supposed to have none of that.
I know. I'm just saying, it makes me a little.
So driving, but driving right here, tell me that doesn't feel Grand Theft Auto-y the way it's moving.
Really
it definitely does to me.
Yeah, but he's not even. But he's not picking up speed.
Yeah.
No, he's just cruising for sure. It's like clearly this is still some beta stuff going on.
Exactly.
They're not pushing things here. You can tell. There's not much environmental stuff going on.
Where's my pedestrians? Where's the pedestrians?
No, but I
at?
do love the. Okay, so here's my issue. Like you said, I'm 100% with you, Ryan. There's not enough going on the streets for this to be a futuristic utopia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but I do love the design of the buildings. I mean, it looks super cool.
Yeah,
but
I love it.
There's Kiana.
They did it again.
And see, he looks a little turdy, doesn't he? Does he not?
Yeah.
Like he doesn't look very good as a NPC. Just being honest, nothing like those previews they showed us. I mean, he looks like exactly like if you went all the way back on Grand Theft Auto, like to the older Grand Theft Auto vibe. You know, not current gen to me. But I do think that's the direction they're going. I think that's what they're trying to get as a new.
The problem
twist
is
on the Grand Theft Auto vibe.
The problem is if your graphics aren't going to blow me away, which guys we do want to also say that we understand with YouTube, sometimes you lose a lot of quality when it comes to gaming. But
it's not going to make characters choppy and move crappy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
I do see some ray tracing in this, but I think it could be a little more wowing than that.
Okay, like even see her moving just now, that little dancer girl.
Yeah.
She's got that kind of chunky
robotic look a little bit.
I was able to watch a little bit of the new Spider-Man gameplay on PlayStation 5, and the ray tracing is incredible in that game. I mean, like,
but still,
the reflections.
Like still though, it's like, what is this? Like driving Miss Daisy? We're just kind of following Keanu around. He's talking, and everybody's just talking, and hey, more talking.
Yeah, and is it first person, and why is everybody moving so slow?
Yeah. Is that Malcolmore?
Yeah, see, he looks like he's straight from Saints Row 3. I'm not exaggerating. To me, that's what he looks like.
Yeah, some of the environment. No, you're not. Some of the environment and the way they use colors and everything makes it look great. Like very good depth, very good. Some of the ray tracing looks decent. Okay, but then the characters look like you said, just
kind of cut.
Let's skip over and see okay, here we go. Here's some gameplay. Here we go.
Some gun use.
Wow. All right.
A little underwhelmed, man.
Yeah.
Gotta say.
It just feels unresponsive, doesn't it?
Yeah, it seems weird. It's like
I mean, we're watching it without sound, which could be a big part of it. Clint's not, maybe, I guess.
Well, I'm not, and the sound's okay, but the way the guns move don't even look very.
Yeah, it seems clunky. That's what I'm saying. Just seems kind of
like. Are we all?
Okay, here's what it seems like. I'll tell you right now, which is very odd, and I think this is what we're experiencing. I just realized what it is.
Like I popped a narcotic and started playing this game.
No. It looks like we're trying to play Grand Theft Auto, but the movement and the shooting and the vibe is Borderlands, which is very weird.
No, because
Borderlands is meant to be that way. It's a cel shaded game. It's got that chunky vibe, but this is not supposed to be. You get what I'm saying?
But that gun smoothness was nowhere.
And all this, and then we got this weird clunky stuff going on. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, guys, in the podcast, even the shooting of the gun is still not as smooth as a Borderlands game, though. Like the way when he was shooting that rifle, it was almost like he had like a water balloon in there. It's not like it was just like like gravity in this world doesn't work the same way it does.
And everybody's still just walking super slow, like we're following some kind of.
Yeah, like this guy looks like he's got to go poop. You know.
Yeah, I agree. The motion and the movement is weird. Why is his arms out like that? Like
this guy too down here. This guy too.
Yeah, I'm not trying to pick it apart, but it's got that old vibe where all the characters kind of have this. I'm a character vibe. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like
super NPC.
Yes, very NPC. Yes.
And this is releasing what? Or late December, early December, or mid December?
Yeah. I think so. Mid December. They can't change much of that. You wouldn't think.
No. Not in a
Let's
month.
see this dude. Here's another character. What do we got?
If you're looking for a release,
He looks a little bit better.
Yeah. So maybe that has to do with the lighting and the environment.
Look at the guy to the left of him, though.
Yeah, I'm still just disappointed with the texturing on the clothing and like what everybody's too shiny. Like,
Yeah, I'm telling you. That's why I said that's what's giving it that Saints Row vibe. That's how Saints Row was.
But
Yeah,
it's just I'm not digging the guns, man.
here's the thing: what's gonna be able to save this game? If this is the way it is, it may have been polished since this. I don't know, but the thing that's gonna save this game is if you have a great story development and
And in multiplayer or co-op, that's going to make a big difference too.
and if there's a lot to explore in this map, that's the only thing that because if you're not just like next level with the graphics, next level with the immersion of the game, then
Don't get me wrong. I loved Saints Row, and it was as cartoony as it gets. I loved it. I played so many hours on Saints Row 3 or 2. Was it 2 we played all the time, Clint?
We played number 1 and number 2, I think.
Okay,
But-
yeah.
There's just not enough, like, I don't know. I'm pretty looking at this, guys, like just being honest, and we can see what happens when the game comes out. But with the hype that was built around this game and just it being such a big thing, I'm looking at this and I'm just not.
I'm 50%.
Not
I'm at 50% of what I expected. That's pretty low.
yeah.
Yeah.
would I buy this game the first week it came out? Absolutely not.
Nope. Not after this preview.
And this is not a next gen title. Again, it's.
It is a next gen title. It just doesn't look like it.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's just very kind of underwhelming. But unfortunately, I think it's about where I thought it was going to be in my mind because we haven't seen much. Because even
There's probably other gameplay videos, guys. But if you guys are listening, you want to check out the video that we're just ripping to pieces here. It's Cyberpunk 2077 Night City Wire Special. I guess that's probably the mission that he's on.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the environmental look and the style of the game, like you guys are saying. But there's things with this that I don't like. Okay, so one example I'll give was whenever he was fighting certain enemies, and I noticed he's only fighting like 2, maybe 3 people at once.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying. It's
there's not a
very
lot of
slow
enemies.
looking.
They're just
Mhm.
So, I mean,
It felt slow enough that you could kind of like pre-plan. Here's what I'm going to do. Then here's what I'm going to do. Almost like they just put out a video that had just enough that it kind of feels like gameplay because people like us were complaining about it, saying, "Hey, we don't got any gameplay." Now we're getting nervous about this game. I'm sure we're not the only people who said that. And they put out this video, and it's kind of like, well, but you just like Clint noticed right off the bat. Where's the NPCs? The NPCs we do have are clunky, but where's that moving, hustling,
living
bustling
silly,
city?
yeah.
Yeah, it just wasn't there. It was kind of like, is it loading? Like, was it still loading? It was weird.
That's what's frustrating, and that's why I'm with Ryan on we hate the cinematics sometimes because we've seen so many trailers for this game, and I clearly even remember one where it shows a town center of one of the city areas where you walk in, and there's just a ton of people. And they're almost like working and trading in a market, and like there's almost alien looking people, and it's nothing in that video that I just saw looked like that.
I think if all you did from that entire video is take Kiana out of the cinematics and compared him on a side by side of his little character standing in that elevator, you're going to want to shoot somebody in the face.
Yeah.
Too big of a difference. I can't. That kind of difference in the modern day just kind of pisses me off.
Yeah. And also it's an 11-minute video, and at least 8.5 minutes was us walking through rooms, people talking to us, but really nothing.
No action. There was no high pace, anything.
Yeah.
Not in the driving, not in anything.
Yeah,
so it's almost like it's even working right.
Even when he's out there shooting, he's still just kind of moving
Cruising.
from side to side, just do.
Yeah, felt weird. I agree.
It was like watching old school Doom back in the day on original PC.
It's funny. That's what I was thinking. Like we're watching some Dukem Nukem slowed down slightly, but it had that chunky vibe.
Yeah. So I don't know. Hopefully they can get that sucker polished before December and prove us wrong. But I'm watching that, and I'm like, well,
You guys go and check out Cyber You Got Punked 20.
Yeah. We're gonna sit back and watch that dumpster fire.
Man.
We're horrible. We're horrible.
Hey, I don't know what else you could say about that video.
Hey,
You're going to finally let out a good gameplay video, and that's what it's going to be. That was a big mistake.
Yeah.
Man, somebody getting fired. So the last story I have, Ryan, is related to an old favorite of all of ours. I think is the Hitman series. So, IO Interactive Entertainment is celebrating 20 years of Hitman, and so here we go. Let's read this article here. It says that Hitman's turning 20 this month, and to celebrate, IO Interactive Studios are commemorating the occasion by sharing moments that they have defined the franchise over the years, as well as teasing what's to come in the upcoming Hitman 3. In a blog post, IO Interactive touched on the history of Hitman leading up to the 20th anniversary, as well as some interesting player statistics. It said Agent 47 was first introduced to the world in November 2000. I'm used to saying 20 now. It's got me thrown off. So yeah, November 2000 with the release of Hitman Codename 47. The franchise has spanned a total of 7 major games, with Agent 47 traveling to 6 continents and performing more than 100 missions. It says across those 7 games, we're proud and excited to announce that Hitman franchise now has more than 70 million lifetime players. That's nice. A lot of players.
Hitman's kind of like the dark 007.
Yeah.
He just keeps, he keeps coming back. He's always going to be here. It seems like, I like it. And 007 is the same way. It's like whatever happened, I don't know. He's here again. New character plays him. Another movie. Here we go.
Yep.
They made sure to back up their story in Hitman though, because he's just a clone.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, you're good to go.
Yeah, that's the best thing you could do. Not the clone from Resident Evil though. That's stupid. I don't like that story. Agent
47.
Yeah. So they say here that they also detailed that they will be revealing more news about the upcoming Hitman 3 in the lead up to the game's launch on January 20th, 2021. They also expressed their gratitude to Hitman fans, saying we are immensely proud to reach the significant milestone of 70 million lifetime players, and we are honored to have such a strong community of players, fans, and partners that have helped us to continue making games, building on Agent 47's legacy, and providing hours and hours of enjoyment in the last 20 years. And that's really all they have to say. It says Hitman 3 will launch January 20th, 2021 on your PS5, on your Xbox Series X, and on your Xbox Series S, and it will not look like Cyberpunk 2077.
Right. And it's gonna follow shortly after with Hitman Online. Hopefully. That would be sweet.
That would be.
We always talk about that. But
work together as a Hitman team.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you have like a
Battle
squad.
Royale. Battle Royale's in Hitman Battle Royale.
Oh yeah, real hits out on you, and people get more money depending on how long it's been since you've been killed. And oh yeah, it'd be an epic game.
Endless amounts of microtransactions there because you can make so many little NPCs to play as.
True.
So, well, that's all I have on the news. Congratulations, Hitman, on being 20.
Nice.
Good game.
Yep. Good game, boys.
GG.
All right, Hunter, what do you have? Are we switching over? I guess we are. Hold on.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to give you an entrance because I'm rude like that.
I haven't done any looking on the PS5.
Oh, good.
Other than our previous search, kind of like what kind of stats it had a little bit.
Yeah.
I haven't dug into it, so I'm interested for sure.
Oh, yeah. Hunter's going to have us covered, right? Yeah.
Are ye scurvy dogs? Where's me loot?
All right, guys. Well, I got a little review tonight of the PS5 and its launch, and just an article here about how it's going over so far. But basically, what I'm going to do is read through this article. It's a little lengthy, but I'm going to cover it pretty fast, and I'll stop in between some segments here that we can talk about. But you know, we've heard different things about the Xbox. We've heard different things about the PlayStation, and I've had a couple friends that have gone and picked up theirs from Best Buy this week. So
Okay.
I'm excited for it. There's some good things. There's some not so good things, you know, just like every console, but nothing that's turned my head away that I feel like I wouldn't go get this console still.
Yeah.
So we'll start out here. But it says the next generation of PlayStation is finally here with the arrival of the PS5. This generation, it seems like Sony is sticking with the same approach that made the PS4 so successful: sell consoles that can play first-party games from Sony's storied franchise, and supplement that lineup with great third-party titles too. You should expect to see better graphics in your games, and the PS5 will also support high refresh rates, which should make games feel smoother if you have a display that supports these refresh rates, of course. Plus, the PS5's custom SSD promises to offer such a leap forward in loading speeds that it could change the way games are designed. We've already reviewed the PS5, and it turns out that the console is pretty good. Its new controller is amazing. The games load quickly, and the console has more streamlined user interface than the PS4. We felt that it left a great first impression, even if there aren't a lot of actual next-generation games to play just yet. So, and I feel like that's the story with Xbox, too. It's not like they've ever just released a console and had tons of games to play. So that's just, you kind of get a feel for what your console can do, and then the game developers play into what is good about it. So that's exciting. It says Microsoft also has a powerful console in the Xbox Series X, which promises better graphics and faster loading times. It is also selling the somewhat lower-powered Xbox Series S. The company continues to make Xbox Game Pass, and that is like a Netflix subscription service, but for video games. And it doesn't mind whether you play the games on Xbox or PC. While the PS5 will play most of the PS4 titles, the new Xbox consoles boast backward compatibility with not only Xbox One, but also many Xbox 360 titles and even some of the OG Xbox games as well. We'll have to wait and see which console proves to be better by the long run, but if you want to learn more, you can check out their specs on Xbox and Sony websites. So there's actually two PS5 consoles. We've already talked about this. Like Microsoft, Sony is actually selling two versions of its upcoming next generation console. For $499.99, you can buy the PS5 with a 4K Blu-ray drive, but for $100 less at $399.99, you can buy the digital edition PS5, which also looks noticeably thinner than its more expensive sibling.
Okay.
Unlike their digital edition is the same quality though, right? I mean, it's the same processor and all that kind of stuff.
Just
Yeah.
no disc.
It says, unlike Microsoft, the only thing that differences those two versions is which console has a disk drive and how much the other one costs. So you're basically buying the disk drive for $100 if you want the disk drive, or if you don't want the disk drive.
I mean, for me, I would automatically go non-disk drive. I guess I've just moved to that already from PC. So like, what would I be even?
Yeah, the only thing I would think about getting the disk drive for is that we don't keep Blu-ray players in our house anymore. We don't have a DVD player.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So to use that, I've always just used my PlayStation as a Blu-ray player also.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I don't get Blu-rays anymore either. I do all that digitally too.
Yeah.
You can get higher quality with the Blu-ray than you do for most streaming sites, stuff like that. So
streaming I do a lot of, and then I even just buy on Apple movies and stuff like that too. But it is nice to have for those old, like when we break out the Griswold Family Christmas or Christmas Vacation, stuff like that. It's nice to have something you can play those on. So that's really why I'd be interested in going ahead and getting the Blu-ray drive. But
yeah,
I guess it's not much more if you're talking about a quality Blu-ray player it'll play 4K. I'm guessing.
And I was thinking about that. Like, how much is it to buy a disc drive for your PC? Like, I guess that's included on.
Just depends. I mean, they have extra
Yeah,
drives you can buy.
For a Blu-ray player, for even a cheap Blu-ray player, I think they're a couple $100 for a 4K.
Yeah, so I mean, like, if you look at it that way, you're buying the disc drive literally. So, the PS5 is powered by a custom 8-core AMD Zen 2 CPU and a custom AMD Radeon RDNA 2-based GPU that will provide a 10.28 teraflops of raw graphical power. That was a tongue twister. The console also uses variable frequencies on both PS5 CPU and GPU, which could theoretically push the graphics to run slightly faster than normal when the CPU isn't running at peak. Though it sounds like the difference is minimal based on the presentation that they've provided. If you want to look at this, by the way, there's a couple of videos on the article I'm reading. It's on The Verge, and it's about the PS5 and all the hardware and everything that's included in it, and basically the overview of it. So if you want to go on there, you guys can check that out and look at some of the videos. The game and the game-changing SSD I mentioned earlier, it has 825 gigabytes of storage and 5.5 gigabytes of throughput, which could be fast enough to let game developers build levels without things like elevator rides or winding corridors that actually masks level loading in the background. Just look at how much faster the games loaded on PS5 than PS4 in our testings. This is pretty cool, and I'll show you guys this, but they actually have some games listed here and the difference in loading time. So Spider-Man Miles Morales on the PS4 had a 1 minute and 27 second loading period. On PS5, that is 17 seconds long.
Wow.
Jeez.
That's a big
No Man's Sky, 2 minutes 52 seconds on the PS4, a minute 34 on the PS5.
Okay.
Final Fantasy Remake, 1 minute 29 seconds on the PS4, 35 seconds on the PS5. Genshin Impact, I don't know what that is. 2 minutes 57 seconds on the PS4 and 59 seconds on the PS5.
See, I'd like to see some stats like that from the Xbox, because the video that I was watching was basically just talking about, like, you know, I think the newer games, not comparing old ones on one to the other, but it was saying pretty much just instant, no loading at all. But I'm sure that's for the next gen games. I'd like to see a comparison for how fast they speed up from the old console to the new. That would be interesting to check out.
This one's funny. I don't know why they even included it, but it's probably because it was made just recently. But Ghost of Tsushima, PS4 is 1 minute 10 seconds. The PS5 is 1 minute 4 seconds. So it's like,
almost no different.
Yeah.
Maybe
Days
it just
Gone.
wasn't optimized well enough. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Days Gone was a 2 minute 54 second on the PS4, and on the PS5 it was a minute and 18 seconds. And Death Stranding was a minute and 50 seconds on the PS4 and down to 54 seconds.
These must be like startup load times, because there's hardly ever load times in the middle of the game that last that long anymore, right?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Okay, so let me give you an example. In God of War, for instance, like they were talking about, there's not loading screens, but there's times where you walk into, like, it's called the Tree of Life.
Right.
When you're fast traveling and you're walking in a circle, you're still in gameplay kind of, but you're walking in this tubular circle.
Yeah, while it's getting everything ready.
Till it loads.
I got you.
That could be up to 2 minutes, or whatever you're in there.
Yeah.
And now the transitions are so much shorter that you don't even need those anymore. So like, for instance, when I was watching Spider-Man, the gameplay, in the old Spider-Man, there was still loading time. So like when you fast traveled, it showed you on the subway, right? About a minute or so, then it starts you where you're at. On this one, the transitions are so quick, there's no loading, it doesn't look like. So like it goes from cutscene into Miles swinging in the air, and then you take over gameplay. Or it goes from cutscene to you changing clothes. It goes from the top of the building to the bottom of the building, gameplay. It's just crazy. It's so smooth in transition.
And that's how I was looking on the Xbox stuff, and I was like, dang, they really pumped this up.
It doesn't look like you're ever loading. It looks like a continuous shot, and that is so impressive.
I like that.
So, those are some of the different loading times. So And those are the things that you don't think about, but that is what separates new generation. So you should know though that some of that 825 gigabytes, and we've talked about this, of storage space is used up by the system. Data, though, meaning that you only actually get about 667 gigabytes of.
So it's even less on the PS5 than it is on the Xbox.
Yes.
See, that's going to be set. I hate that.
It's not enough.
Such an issue. You can't hardly play anything anymore.
And the ever-growing size of games means that you might fill that up very quickly. Call of Duty Black Ops War.
Is that the same size for the digital too? Probably, yeah, because they're just getting rid of the.
Yeah.
Dang.
Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War takes up to 133 gigabytes, for example, which is nearly 20% of the console's available storage.
Yeah, that's just crazy. That's
if you want to expand the PS5 storage, you won't be able to at launch. But at some point in the future, you'll be able to slot in the Sony certified M.2 SSD. We're not exactly sure when those SSD cards might become available.
So they did the same thing. They made some kind of exclusive expandable deal. But at least Xbox allows you to do either. You can do a regular expandable or you can do the special expandable.
Yeah, the way this one is worded.
That's their hookup with Microsoft, I'm sure.
Yeah. It says back in March, PS5 lead system architect Mark Cerny said that the SSD certification will likely happen a bit, quote, past the console's launch. But the Xbox Series X will also have a custom SSD, one with 1 terabyte of storage, of which 802 gigabytes is usable, but lesser throughout the 2.4 gigabytes. That could wind up meaning that the Xbox Series X has slower loading times than the PS5 in practice, but it depends on a variety of factors.
You'd have to see a side by side probably on stuff like that.
What I've seen is there might be quicker loading times on the PS5, but there's definitely better graphics associated with the Xbox so far.
Okay.
The Xbox Series X and S have also had a big differentiator in quick resume, a feature, and Ryan talked about this last time, a feature that lets you hop between games in about 10 seconds or less, though it's not available with every game. And then on the PS5, you're probably waiting a bit longer for things to load when jumping into new games.
Yeah, it doesn't give you that free pause mode to just pause it kind of wherever you want. Yeah. Which I don't know exactly how much people will use that because it's a feature that we've never ever had. Right. So it's not like one of those, oh yeah, definitely, I love to jump out of this game and into that game. I don't know, part of me says it matters if people find out that it's causing the game they're playing to run slower because that other one's frozen in the background, they're not going to use it. They're just going to close that out and it'll be obsolete.
The only time I could see myself using something like that is when I have a friend over and we're playing different sports games.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
All right, let's play MLB now. Okay, let's play basketball now.
Right. Yep.
So yeah, then it goes on to just compare all the specs, the CPU and the GPU between different, the Xbox and PlayStation. But I'm not going to go through all that again. If you want to look at all that, you can go on The Verge and check that out. But it says the PS5 supports up to 8K output and promises 4K graphics at up to 120 Hz refresh rate.
So it's the same thing. That's the same thing the Xbox boasted, 120 frames at 4K, and then you're supposed to be able to do 8K up convert type stuff. Okay.
The console's improved power or horsepower also means that you can expect to see ray tracing, and this is what I was talking about with you guys earlier, which can lead to more realistic effects in game environments like reflections on windows. Check out the ray tracing in the new Spider-Man remastered. So you got Spider-Man Remastered plus the new Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Right.
Both have the new ray tracing in it, and it is phenomenal, guys. I didn't think when I was hearing the description of this from the gamer I was listening to, I was like, big deal. Like, we're going to trace light better in the game. You don't realize how much that impacts the graphics until you watch it. Because when he's flying through those buildings and the reflection is correct, it's like baffling. You're like
watching
whoa.
a movie.
Yeah. You just see him flying through these two buildings, and his shadow or his reflection is going with you on both sides, and then it's reflecting the building across from it, plus the cars below. And then you get even to the smallest details. When I was watching him, where Spider-Man dropped into this building and there was ray tracing off of his suit. It's like, whoa, those little details, like we said, we don't think about, but it's the future in gaming. It's appealing to our eyes. We don't realize what we've been missing.
Yeah, you don't know it's missing until it's there, and you go, "Oh, yeah, that's more like reality." Yep.
So here's another thing I didn't know about: the PS5 also supports 3D audio, which Sony said will let you see with sound in a commercial shared in August. We don't know exactly how 3D will be utilized in games just yet. And it's worth mentioning Sony has also tried to sell this feature on the PS4. So we'll have to wait and see just how much better the 3D audio is on PS5. And it may just be another way to market their $100 Pulse 3D wireless headset. Yeah. So the PS5 has 3 USB ports, 1 on the front, 2 on the back, and 1 USB-C port on the front. So they have...
Well, I mean, if you guys haven't listened to like Dolby Atmos, I don't know if you guys have been anywhere that has Atmos instead of the regular surround sound. It's incredible. Like I instantly was like, okay, I need that. Yeah. I don't have the money.
Well, the PlayStation VR had the headset it came with, the little tiny earbuds. It supported 3D audio. And so I know exactly what you're talking about, because it can do, you don't really think about it, but it had like situations, like it had a Resident Evil demo where she was running around, and it made it sound like she went upstairs.
Yeah, not just behind you and in front of you, but on top of you.
The chain's actually on top of you, so you're looking up, like, what the freak? And then you realize, oh, this is a game. So yeah, it's a big game changer as far as your gaming experience.
If we can go as far as the ray tracing thing, that they're going to be able to utilize sound in a great way like that. So
well, we've seen sound in the last 4 years just go through the roof.
Oh yeah,
the sound in Call of Duty, the sound, and even DayZ, which is such an unpolished game, but they've done such a good job on the sound, on the picking up where it's from and the distance, and your brain feeling like that's real life when you're listening to it. We've never had that before, so that's a whole new era we're kind of moving into. And I love the sound. I think it impacts games in a huge way, and I think that's why people have moved away from surround sound into headsets, because it's got a whole. Because this headset right here has Atmos.
We're all going to be wearing hearing aids when we're in our 50s.
Yeah.
What? What'd you say?
All those horror games say best used with headphones.
Yep.
Sets the ambiance. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, get you that freaky son.
Yep.
Clint throws his mouse across.
Knock your kid out on accident because they snuck up on you.
Yeah.
So, in addition to those 3 USB ports, there's also obviously an Ethernet port on the back, and an 802.11ax Wi-Fi, aka Wi-Fi 6. So, I don't know if you can connect with a better Wi-Fi with that or what, but all of the hardware is packed into the biggest game console in modern history. That's right. The PS5 is the biggest console we've seen. Seriously. The one with the disk drive is approximately 390 millimeters by 140 millimeters by 260 millimeters. That's about 15.4 inches tall, 4.1 inches deep, and 10.2 inches wide. Compare that to the Xbox Series X, the larger of Microsoft's next generation consoles, which is about 301 millimeters by 151 millimeters by 151 millimeters. And both consoles are much bigger in dimension than the Xbox Series S, obviously.
So they're saying it's bigger even than the original Xbox.
They're past. Yeah.
Man, that's a big daddy.
Definitely. It's way bigger than the original Xbox. Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah, my question is, though, you said something about how big it is. I was wondering how heavy it is, because when I read that Xbox fridge weighed 10 pounds, that blew me away. That's a heavy freaking console.
Yeah. It's got to be close. It's got to be a little bit more than that probably, but not too much. It's because they're built different. Obviously that Xbox is more of a square or like a cube. This, even though it is bigger, looks slender. So
it's a rectangle, not a cube.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cubic shape.
I'm just being a douche.
No, you just are one. You can't be one when you are one.
Okay.
Reviews have found that all three of these new consoles are remarkably cool and quiet, which is a welcome difference for the next gen. So they're all, they got that quietness to them. None of them are catching fire, thank goodness. Nothing's smoking. That was a good prank, whoever decided to do that on the internet.
Yeah.
They're quiet.
They are glitching.
I mean, it's
though.
Performing well. So
it's funny when you think about this and you go, these computers nowadays are huge, right?
Mhm.
Nobody cares about their gaming PC. They're just monsters sitting on your desk.
exactly.
Fans just kicking butt.
Wife's over there like sounds like a freaking airplane's in your closet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And my PlayStation used to get a little hot,
Yeah.
Well, like I noticed, I'd charge up my old PC. It's kind of cold back here in the winter, but you turn that sucker on, dude. I'm like, whoo, whoo.
Yep.
Get a little
Warms
hot.
it up for you.
Yeah.
So I don't have much left, but this is the part we've been waiting for. If you are a PlayStation fan, you probably already know about this. This is what we've been anticipating, and this might be what gives us a little edge this year with these generations. It is the DualShock controller, and it might be the most next-gen part of the PS5. The PS5
DualSense, right? That's what you meant to say.
Yeah, sorry, not DualShock.
And we have been waiting to find out what's it really all about. Yeah, because that's the thing I was interested in.
So the PS5 controller is a significant departure from the DualShock line that you might be familiar with from the other PlayStation console. But it has a number of brand new features that might make it the most interesting aspect of the PS5. Let's start with the design. Sony's DualShock controllers have generally kept a similar design from generation to generation, but the PS5's new DualSense controller is the first PlayStation controller that doesn't look anything like the original.
Yeah, it's more like an Xbox controller.
And while the DualSense does have the basic layout PlayStation fans are familiar with, a directional pad and buttons on one half and two control sticks on the bottom, and the center touch bar from the DualShock 4, the whole shape of the controller is new, with pointier handles and broader lines, and it has a striking two-tone design. The DualShock 4's share button, which lets you grab screenshots, take videos, and broadcast gameplay, has been changed to the create button on the DualSense. Though it has similar functionality in the improvement of the PS4, though, the PS5 automatically captures the last 60 minutes of your gameplay and up to 15 minutes at 1080 resolution and 60 frames per second. The PS5 will also let you manually capture gameplay in 4K if you tweak a few settings to do so.
Okay. That's good.
It's not just the look of the DualSense that's new, though. Traditional rumble has been replaced with haptic feedback, which should give you different levels of feedback depending on what's happening in your game. The controller also has adaptive triggers that can simulate different resistances, which could be used to do things like add tension when you're pulling back a bow. And if you were curious, here's a look at the mechanism. Again, if you guys want to check this out, they have a little cool screenshot or a little video of how the mechanism works in the back of the PlayStation remote. He said, my colleagues Andrew Webster and Tom Warren have both been impressed by the DualSense. Andrew wrote an article covering how currently available PS5 games use the controller's new feature already. In Fortnite, for example, if you feel, you will feel different levels of resistance on the trigger based on which weapon you are using.
Oh.
Tom is also has a video demonstrating Astro's Playroom, which is a game designed to show off the features of the DualSense that is included with the PS5 when you buy it. And I watched this a little bit, so I'll kind of expand on it. But basically, there's different things that go into this to immerse you into the game. Like they said, the trigger buttons change in pressure, but the vibrations are completely different. So he stepped over a fan in this gameplay, and there was actually air coming out of the remote.
Wow.
Plus, the vibration was set to such a low frequency that it felt like he was on a fan. And so then he goes on a little bit further in the map, jumps onto this slide and starts going down. And he goes, guys, the vibration has completely changed. It does feel like I'm sliding down something. There's a slower
kind of yeah.
Yes.
And that's cool.
He goes on to different levels in the game where different things are happening. Where he's walking on sand and the crunch is put into the remote of him walking on sand. Different things like that. So very cool. And that is something that's I think is going to set it apart, is the immersion of feeling the game by those.
That'd be really good with your VR headset too.
Yeah. So the DualSense also has a built-in microphone in addition to its speaker, but there's still a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack that you can plug headphones if you prefer.
Okay.
It's also the first Sony controller with a USB-C port. So yeah, if you want to buy more than one DualSense, additional controllers will run you. Can you guys guess the price?
$70.
$70.
Yeah, baby.
With a slight increase from the $59.99 you originally paid for a DualShock 4, Sony is also selling a $29.99 charging dock that lets you charge 2 DualSense controllers at a time.
Hey,
so
okay.
They bumped up $69 to this, or from $59.99 to $69.99.
Not to hijack your story here, Hunter, but that's the perfect example of what we were talking about earlier, Ryan, where they took a controller that essentially was the same controller for years and priced it at $60 all those years. Nothing changed until you developed that controller.
Nothing.
And I'm sure things got cheaper to make that, right? Each year. So, anyway.
But this new controller is different, so it's worth 70, isn't it?
No. I know. But I'm just saying, look how many generations we pretty much had the same controllers.
Right, yeah.
Now we're finally getting something new.
Yeah.
So, and then to wrap this up, I just want to touch on some of the games that are available right now on the PS5. But it says, like we talked about, you'll have a few exclusive games to pick from at launch, and 70 is the new 60. So $70 is what you're expecting to pay for these games. Some of the new that will be alongside the console are Astro's Playroom, like we talked about. It's made by Japan Studios. It's pre-installed on your PS5 when you get it. That's the one that showcases your new controller. You have Demon Souls by Blueprint Games and Japan Studios at $70. Destruction All-Stars.
I've heard amazing reviews on Demon Souls.
Yep.
So far.
Graphics and everything, yes. Lucid Games and XDev makes Destructive All-Stars, and that's again $70. Here's something that surprised me, and look, I think that Insomniac Games is on the same level as Mr. Hunter, because Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, just the regular game, $49.99.
There you go.
Because they know that there's not enough gameplay. It's a short.
Yeah, see, because when you read it earlier, I noticed it said Ultimate Edition. The one that was 70 was called Ultimate Edition.
Yes, and there is an Ultimate Edition on here for $70. So
okay.
But I have heard over and over again that this Marvel Spider-Man is so much shorter than the last one because it's just kind of a preview to what they're bringing to the console. So
I wonder why they didn't make it full scale, because the last Spider-Man did so well. So to make this one short, I don't think that was a very good idea.
No, I don't think. I don't know.
It may have been crunch for time.
They had to
that question
for time.
They did really good on it, but I just think they shortened the story.
Well, it may also be them trying to make it for PS4 and PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
And with time situation, they may just be like,
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
The last new release here that comes with it, or with the launch, is Sackboy: A Big Adventure, Sumo Digital, and I think that is a sequel or a part of the what is that called? Little Big Planet.
Yeah.
And so it says if you opt to keep your PS4 instead of upgrading to PS5, though, you won't be missing out on all of those games because Spider-Man and Sackboy are available on PS4. And Sony also plans to release Horizon Forbidden West, the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, on the PS4 also. And if you buy any of these 3 games for your PS4, Sony will give you a free upgrade to their PS5 versions.
Oh, that's cool.
However, if you buy the PS4 disc version of those games, you'll only be able to play the PS5 upgraded version on PS5 with a disc drive.
Okay.
You might have noticed the $69.99 price on some of the Sony PS5 games. No, you're not. Your eyes do not deceive you. Some games will have a $10 increase from the $59.99 you might be used to paying for new games. Although Sony says games from its studios will be priced between $49.99 and $69.99, moving forward, it seems likely that you'll be paying a high end of the spectrum for more and more of the generation go on. So in addition to these Sony titles, there will be a handful of third-party titles available as well, including Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Call of Duty's Black Ops Cold War, Devil May Cry 5, Fortnite, Observer, and Sony is also offering a collection of PS4 games that you can download and play on your PS5 at launch if you have a PS Plus prescription. Or subscription, sorry, not a prescription. Some of Sony's biggest or first-party PS4 hits are part of that collection, but there are a number of third-party titles in the mix too. Here are the first-party games available to you: Bloodborne, Days Gone, Detroit Becoming Human, God of War, Infamous Second Son, Ratchet and Clank, The Last Guardian, The Last of Us Remastered, Until Dawn, and Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. The third-party games will include Batman Arkham Knight, Battlefield 1, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombie Chronicles Edition, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, Fallout 4, Final Fantasy Royal Edition. I guess it's Final Fantasy 7. Monsters Hunter World, Mortal Kombat X, or I don't read Roman numerals, guys. I'm sorry. Persona 5, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
Okay.
So
that's
the previous gen.
Yes.
Okay.
Those are all the previous gen games that will be available to you to play if you're a PlayStation Plus member.
Right.
Gotcha.
And then, of course, most PS4 games will work on the PS5.
Right. So if you already have a bunch of games, you can always play those.
Yes.
And overall, how was the launch, Hunter?
So far, so good. On this article, what he's talked about, has been going over good with people. I haven't seen it. Doesn't talk anywhere on here about anything blowing up or
Negative.
Yeah, any bad things. I know that you had mentioned something that I must have not seen, that there's some both consoles have had some issues, but
yeah, I think on PlayStation side it was like whenever they put their stuff in arrest mode, if the game's still on, like they've had games like locking up, and so they're literally having to send PlayStations in to have them. I think they said reseated.
Oh wow! Yeah, I haven't even heard of that.
So they're just sending notifications, just sending in, we'll fix it kind of stuff.
Right.
And then Xbox has had some issues as well. Not excluding, of course, the smoking hoax. They've had some software issues glitching up and some fixes like that are going to have to take place. But I don't look at any of that as totally negative because it's kind of what we expected.
It's the first beginning.
It's
lineup.
So,
and that's what I was talking to you about. I think that's why I don't like to buy the new consoles the first week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sounds like both consoles have their own red ring of death right now.
Yeah.
I don't think it's huge, but it's enough that people are talking about it.
But and I think that might be something that you just kind of have to expect going forward with these bigger scaled computing systems.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you're working with more hardware, you have to expect there might be a little more kinks you need to work out.
Well, like having PlayStation 5, that makes sense if they're having to reseat the CPU and stuff like that. Probably just means in the shipping it got bumped too hard and jacked up the hookup. So so not 100% sure, but I do know they're having some more releases of the PlayStation later into December that they're doing, but kind of hard to get a hold of them right now. You just got to go out there and look to see what stores have them. because not everyone's created equal right now. And I know they didn't do any big midnight releases or anything like that. It was mainly pre-orders and then day of sales. Mm-hmm. So it was a little bit different vibe than what we're all used to.
Because of good old COVID.
Yeah, good old COVID. We need to make a video game with COVID where we just kill it over and over again. You know?
Maybe 2021 will be the year of good video game stuff.
Could be the year of Bud Light, man. Never know what they're coming up with next. Big 4K. Add another 3 games.
Bud Light 30-packer.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that 6-pack. They only named off like 2 games. I wonder if since it's a 6-pack, you get 6 games.
6 games.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And then
For $1,000.
Where's my 12-pack, baby? It's probably PlayStation graphics. Old school PlayStation 1.
Yeah, it's probably like arcade. Arcade. Yeah.
Pixel City.
And you're paying $1,000 because it's just a unique thing that's a gag gift.
If you're gonna do that, you just got to do like Twisted Metal and some cool games like that from back in the day.
And that's just what they're reselling for. I don't know what their original price was.
Yeah. Well, guys, that's all we got. That's it. That's all the news, all the events. We hope you enjoyed it. It was good. Yeah, we hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving if you're from the U.S. If you're not, go ahead and just go get a turkey sandwich for us. Yeah. And if you don't eat turkey sandwiches, go get ham or whatever you eat in your country.
Yeah, turkey's overrated, dude. Eat a steak or something.
Yeah.
Prime rib.
I'm always excited.
Eat whatever you want and call it Thanksgiving. We don't care.
Yeah. Friendsgiving, famgiving, Corona giving, whatever you can call it.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, guys. Stay delirious.
Stay dadding.
And stay gaming. This has been a Delirious Dads production. For more information about the show, visit our website at www.deliriousdadsgaming.com. You can also find us on facebook.com/deliriousdadsgaming, twitch.tv, and YouTube. Make sure you like and share our pages to help us grow the channel. You can listen to the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify. Please leave a rating and review if you enjoy the show. Thank you again for listening, and we hope to see you next time.